Yay Networks.
Hey y'all, welcome to This Is Life. My name is Heather. Baby, stop being weird.
My name is Cornelius. What's up, y'all? What's up, cousins?
Hey y'all.
Yo, y'all had a lot to say on my socials. Hey, last week, y'all was coming at me like, yo. And I just gotta let y'all know, I'm many things. I am many things. The one isn't one. Because I'm gonna snap back. I'm gonna snap back, baby. Because when you go low, I go to hell. But let's do this.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do this. What's up?
Baby.
That's one of my toxic traits. God's still working on me. He is. He's still working on me. God. He's still working on me. But I wanna piggyback up off that conversation that we had. How about we do that? I got a question. What does pursuit look like? What like paint that picture for all the brothers that are listening, because I had so many brothers who reached out to me privately who were like, thank you for saying what you said.
Can we first address one of the comments, the picture of the comments?
Okay.
All right. So first and foremost, the comments were saying, you're the wrong gender, men, if you want to be pursued. And I feel like they took that one clip out of context, right? Mm-hmm. And so they're like, well, I agree with Heather. And I was like, if you listen to the podcast, I actually agreed with my husband. But in that clip, I just was showing you another side, right? Yeah. But I think what we were saying in the last podcast is it's not that men don't believe that they should, not pursue. They should pursue, right?
Okay, this is what I'll say. I think they were taking it and saying that men should not initiate. I think initiate is a better word here.
Yeah.
That men should not initiate. And I think that we are initiators.
Yeah.
We are. That's who we are. So I believe that we are initiators. It is important for us to initiate. Now, does that mean that a woman cannot initiate a conversation with a man? Absolutely not. I mean, I hate to say it. We in 2024 right now. Like, I don't get that part. I assumed that through women, the part of women's suffrage was that women no longer wanted to be seen as property. They no longer wanted to be seen as these objects. They were fighting against, objectification. So if that is the case, and if pursuit is all about winning something, winning a prize, you're winning an object. And I'm like, I thought that's what y'all didn't want. So help me and help all my brothers out there to be able to understand what y'all want.
So a woman wants to be pursued.
What does that look like? Paint that picture.
Pursued independently. She doesn't want you pursuing other options. She just wants you to independently pursue her with the intent, with purpose. Where is this, where are we going? What's going to happen in our relationship? Is our intent towards marriage? Is our intent towards just dating? Like, we like that communication. We like that direction. We want leadership. For me, and it's funny because we saw each other at church for years, right? And then we connected on Facebook because we were Facebook friends. And I was like, trying to figure out what was going on for the church fast. My intent was legit to ask you what we're supposed to eat and what we're not supposed to eat. Ironically, we were at my house and my best friend was with me. But if she had her computer, she would have pulled it up and she would have messaged you with a full intent to be like, what are we allowed to eat on this church fast? And when I reached out to you, asked you that question, my intentions were not, this is going to be my husband. No, I was just like, can we eat it? Can we not eat it? Because you worked at the church and I knew that. And when you responded, I clicked out of the box and then it popped back up. And then you started asking me all these questions and you're like, who helps you with your groceries? And you're trying to ask all these details. And I'm like, yes, I'm single. You know what I mean? And then for me, you started the pursual, right? And then on our very first date.
I got game. I mean, this is.
Then on our very first date, you said, when we get married, will you move to Atlanta? So for me, it's just like, okay, this man is pursuing me intentionally. Like he wants to get married. He's intentional. And at the end of our date, you said, I don't want to kiss you until our wedding day. So you begin to kind of lay out the path. Like you gave me direction. You gave me vision. You know what I mean? And then you started asking me, what is my purpose? What am I called to do? And when I told you, you were like, great. And it's ironic because I had no fruit showing that I was called to preach. Mm-hmm. And I had dated other guys, and one guy in particular told me that's not what God called me to do, and I need to go find like I need to go back to school and get a degree and get a doctorate or something because I have no connections. But you were so supportive of what God has called me to do. So for me, that was pursuing me. You gave me direction, you gave me vision, and you let me know you just wanted to be with me. Matter of fact, and back then, y'all, this was 2009, so this was a big deal. Back then, you went online and you made me your girlfriend on Facebook within like a day or two of meeting me. And I was like, oh, hold on. In a relationship with Heather. And I was a little nervous about that because I felt like you were so forward. But I was like, okay, we're gonna ride this out. Let's just see, But to me, that was pursual. You were focused on me. You were focused on a relationship. You gave me vision. You gave me direction. You pursued me. And I think that there's this part that people were struggling with that past podcast is the reciprocity. They don't like the idea that they want to be on this prize, right? Women want to be this prize up here. And it's just like in the podcast and what people were saying, some of the women, not all of them, but some of the women were just like, I just want to be pursued and chased nonstop, but I don't want to give nothing back to the man. Like,
can I say this?
Go ahead.
Can I say this? I think the word pursue, like I said, is probably the wrong word. Initiate.
You initiate. Yeah.
Initiate is probably a better word. I like the word initiate.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire thing, the context, like you mentioned, the context was all about reciprocity. Because even during the time we were dating, like there were times where you would make snacks for me, or you would send me text messages, or you would call me because you recognized my day was hectic.
I remember I sent you food before Uber Eats was a thing.
Yeah.
Because I knew you had a long day.
Exactly. That is reciprocity. Mm-hmm. And the very fact that reciprocity, just the idea of reciprocity, was such an issue lets me know where the current standards of dating is right now. And why so many of the people who had something to say were single women.
Yeah.
And then the men are like, this is the reason why you single. And this is the reason why I don't want you. And this is the reason why I'm not dating you. And this is the reason why I'll get in a relationship with you. I'll have sex with you and then I'll let you go. Like I had brothers reaching out to me saying, bruh, what you saying is right. We just want reciprocity. And then I feel like, these women are like, well, I want to be this prize. And
they don't do nothing? Is that the idea?
But here's my thing. Prizes come in all different shapes and sizes. You could be a prize could be a 14 karat gold, whatever, a 14 karat diamond. A prize can also be a little bitty cheap toy to come out of a one of them little claw machines. So I don't know if these individuals have really sat down to realistically classify themselves at what type of prize they think they are, because they have all these expectations of what they want this person to do. And in honesty, they're not being truly introspective. They're not seeing themselves as they are. And I'm really wondering, like, do you honestly think you're a prize? I don't know. I think that's
well, I think everybody's a prize in their own way. Right?
That's what I said.
Yeah, I think everybody's
it all
a prize.
comes in. Oh yeah, I mean,
I think everybody's a prize.
Jesus and everything, and Jesus.
Okay, I think everybody's a prize, but I do think that some of our expectations can be a little high, and I think that might be why some people may have overlooked some guys along the way.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Honestly.
Okay.
Riley, you too. Riley's our producer. She's absolutely amazing. Do you honestly think, as women, as women, I know you're not speaking for all women, but do y'all really know what y'all want?
I think this is Riley. I think it's a mixture of what we want, what we're told we're supposed to want, and what we see other people have. So I feel like we do know, we just don't know which way to go.
Okay.
I think we want it all.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to say.
I think we want it all in a bag of chips, and if we don't have it, we want more. I think, hold on, let me finish. I feel like the curse
so good.
from Eve in the garden of looking at all those trees that God said, you can have everything but that one tree. And she wanted that one tree because she couldn't have it. Right. And I feel like that curse still goes on to this day with women. We know that we're not supposed to have that fruit, but we want that fruit off that tree and we want all the other ones because how you going to tell me, God, that I can't have that one? I want it all. So I do.
And you want to control the trees and the fruit
Hold on.
that you get from the tree and the person that gets you the fruit.
I feel like a lot of women struggle with discontentment from the root of us. Like our nature is discontent. And we can look at that from our mother Eve in the Bible in Genesis. It's like all those trees weren't good enough. So there's this thing in us that's like, I need more. And you can look throughout the whole Bible. Look at Leah, Rachel, all those different people. God gave some people kids and then some people kids later on, but they were still jealous of the people that got kids earlier than they did. Yeah. I mean, every story in the Bible of a woman, you can almost look back and see where she struggled with discontentment. Yeah. Discontentment it's a thing with us.
And we're going to talk about more about that. Let's take a break real quick. This episode is sponsored today by BetterHelp.
So, babe, we talk a lot about our childhood trauma and the stuff that we've been through. Yep. And I think with this whole series of what we've been talking about on our podcast lately, one of the key components and what we've been conversing about is working on ourselves. Right. I work on myself, you work on yourself. And therapy has been like the key and clutch. And that's why we love BetterHelp. And I will sing their praises forever because they are helping so many people. It is online virtual therapy, babe. So you can connect with somebody within 24 to 48 hours. Yeah. And the cool thing is you can get matched with them online. It's super easy to fill out the application. You get matched with somebody. They even have financial aid. And it's so cool because they can walk you through any area that you're struggling with in your life right now. Yeah. Depression, anxiety, fear, worry, doubt.
Family problems.
It's so important to have that outside person that can walk you through your current struggles.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about therapy, we're just saying give BetterHelp a try. I mean, it is completely online. That means it's virtual. I mean, you got to worried about somebody going to see you in the lobby or walking into a building. You got none of that. All you're doing is you're going to fill out a brief questionnaire. And then after that, they're going to hook you up with a therapist. Here's the great thing about it. If you don't like the person that you're with, they hook you up with, you can change it anytime. They have financial aid available. BetterHelp is where it is at. You have somebody who can walk you through and actually add verbiage to your pain. So learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Lindsay's to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsay's, LINDSEYS, to get 10% off. BetterHelp.com/Lindsay's, LINDSEYS. Okay, we're back. And I think what's even interesting is the fact that you even brought up Leah, in the Bible, because I mean, the Bible actually says she was cockeyed. Let's throw that out there. The Bible said that she was not pretty in the face and she was cockeyed. And I feel like a lot of women they want this pursual. They want like this Isaac and Rebecca type of relationship.
Rescue me.
Yeah.
Like work for me.
Yeah,
show me that you want me.
And it's like, it's okay. This man worked 7 years, wasn't even giving Rebecca, was giving her cockeyed sister. And then the cockeyed sister was like, hey, I'll push out every kind of baby you want. Like she was
whatever
just thankful.
You want.
She was just thankful. Like there's someone they're just thankful. Like, thank you, just thankful. Then you got Rebecca, who now you got to work an extra 7 more years for. Finally gets Rebecca. He done work 14 years for this woman. She's supposed to be, the Bible says she was beautiful. She was still not satisfied to the point that she took her discontentment all the way to a point of her pregnancy. She had a baby on the road, and then she named her baby after her pain. She named her baby after her discontentment, called the baby Benoni, which means son of my pain. And then bruh had to come back and be like, no.
We got to rename the baby.
We got to call the baby Benjamin, son of my right hand, because she was so focused on the past. Yeah. And dad is like, no, we got to focus on the future. So again, it's like this, even when you say something like, we want it all. To brothers, to men, it's almost like asking the question, can y'all really be satisfied?
Honestly, I feel like it's a journey because I think in the beginning when I first got married, I had a lot of fantasies. And you know this from our daughter, Taylor. And I feel like I'm so thankful for her because God gives you an idea of how women are from birth and how they act. This girl has her whole life planned. Her husband, her kids, where she's going to live, what school she's going to go to. Homegirl has plans. It's all laid out. And I think when you get married, you have this fantasy or this idea of what you think it's going to be. And then reality hits. And then you're like disappointed. You're like, wait, oh, this sucks. You know what I mean? And then you're still striving for this fantasy that you have in your head. And it's a consistent, like laying that down and saying, okay, God, like what life do you have for me? I'm going to develop contentment. I'm going to find the beauty in it. And I feel like a lot of women are also discontent with God. They feel like, God, I want you to do more for me. I want you to do this. I know you answered these 20 million prayers, but what about these 5 other ones that haven't happened? And then what happens is God answers those other 5, and then we complain about his, the answered prayers. So it's like this cycle. So unless you break it and choose contentment, choose to find the beauty in where God has you, then you're going to continue in this cycle of nothing is good enough. You're going to have expectations of God, of your man, of your family, of people, of everybody, and nobody's ever going to be able to meet that standard for you. You know?
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I feel like this is why a lot of relationships don't last nowadays.
Because of the expectations.
Oh, the expectations are trash. Like what Riley said, like what you were saying, like, the have this idea of I know what I want. It's like it's a mixture between what I want, what I'm told I should want, and then what I see that everybody else has. Like that's a pretty dangerous and deadly mixture because that's a lot of different stuff that really comes down to, I don't know if you really know what you want. So then you say, okay, so I want a man I want a man who provides. But then if he's providing too much because he has to be at work, then it's like, well, you're not spending enough time with me. But then I want a man who's going to be there for my kids. But then if the man is, it's like, well, then, or the big one. I want a man of God, whatever the heck that means. I want a man of God. But then you get this man of God and then you like, yeah, but he boring. It's like, you know what I mean?
What do you want? Yeah.
It's like, what do you want? Like, you want somebody who's soft and
but
you want somebody who's caring and shares like how they feel. But then a man opens up and shares how he feels. He's sassy.
Or he's feminine.
Or he's feminine. You like, yo. Like,
make up your mind.
What are we supposed to do in this piece?
So that sounds quite overwhelming for men because you constantly feel like, okay, I'll never be able to satisfy. I'll never be enough. I'll always need to do this or have more.
I don't pray enough. I don't go to church enough. I don't do this enough. I don't hang out with the kids enough. I don't take you on enough dates. I don't go on vacations enough.
I think the woman from the beginning, I've even mentioned this when we first met, I wanted leadership. So I think the man coming in to lead and being firm in his leadership and calling out that crap along the way with his wife. No, seriously. I'm just saying the Bible says the husbands are supposed to wash their wives with the water of the word. And so what I'm saying is baby, hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
We had a great breakthrough the other day. You washed me with the water of the word.
Agreed.
And I'm like literally in the kitchen, like bawling my eyes out. And that's rare for me. I don't sit and like cry around the house. You know what I mean? Wow. I do? Since when do I sit and cry?
That's not what I said. I didn't say a word.
Your expression did, because Riley, you were like this. I sit and cry around the house. When?
Keep going. What are you talking about?
I just wanted to know.
What are you talking about?
I sit around and cry?
No.
I was about to say, I don't sit around and cry.
I think this is a perfect example of how women see the little nuances and then we take it, internalize and run it something, and then we run with it.
Oh, around the corner. Forget this whole podcast conversation. What was that look?
Wow.
I just need you to look at me sweetly and supportively. That's all you need to do right now. So.
My God in heaven.
But anyways, that was like you washing me with the water of the word. That was you being honest.
I get
and you that. Calling, but it's like when we hear call you out on your crap, it's almost like a toxic thing. I feel like to some people, they think, oh, he's going to be mean. No, you were supportive. You were loving. You were kind. You were washing me. You weren't hosing me down.
Yeah.
You were washing me with the water of the word. And you were calling out areas in me that I needed, to let go of.
You know what can make leadership extremely difficult?
What?
Contention.
Yeah.
Which is why the Bible said 3 times, it is better to be elsewhere than to be in the house with a contentious woman.
Wow.
And it's very difficult to lead a woman who is contentious. I'm not saying you were contentious.
I know you were looking at the camera, not me. I knew you wasn't talking about me.
That's not what I'm saying.
I know you weren't talking about me.
And contentious, what we're referring to is being argumentative.
Yeah.
So you're like, a woman will say, I want a man who's going to lead me. But I don't know if you really want leadership.
No,
because
I agree.
if leadership comes in and leadership says, hey, I really feel like you need to take responsibility and accountability for your actions and the way that you act. And then she says, hold on, you not my daddy. You don't tell me what to do. Now this becomes argumentative.
I used to say that a lot when we first met.
You did. That brings,
Yeah.
that gets to a point where for a man to lead, he finally just says, I give up. Because for most men who find themselves to be fixers, we say, if I can't fix this, then obviously I'm just content with it remaining to be broken. And so, I get it. I get women like, well, I want a leader. Number one, I don't think women know what leadership is. Number two, I feel like women have an idea of leadership based on either the daddy they had or the one that was absent. I feel like Disney movies have messed y'all up completely. For the black folk, I feel like Tyler Perry movies have messed y'all up completely. I'm like, you want a leader, but you still got this contentious side of you that says, I want individuality.
But do you know why? That's protective. That's like our protective mode, because we feel like we have to protect us because nobody else will.
That's fear.
Of course it is. And,
but
there's a root to that.
I get that, but you can't say that you want this man to come in and lead, and then you throw up a wall of protection and say, I want you to do this, but I'm not going to listen to you.
You have to understand, baby, the beauty of marriage is it exposes and it reveals different areas in your
that,
heart that you have to work on.
But
so hold on, babe,
dating?
let me finish. I wanted a leader. I wanted a man that could lead me. And then God gave me the strongest man on this earth, right? Who challenged me. You challenged me on our first date. Remember we walked into Dwayne Reed and I was like, oh, makeup's on sale.
You wanted to buy makeup, yeah.
And you were like, but we didn't come in here for makeup.
Yeah.
We didn't come in here for that.
How you going to tell me I can't
I said, you ain't going to tell me. I was like, it's my money. You don't tell me what to do with my money.
Did you buy makeup?
No, I didn't that day. I didn't. And then I remember when we were courting, he was getting on to me about how much money I spent. And I got a bonus on my job. And I remember on my lunch break going down to the Louis Vuitton and Gucci store, and I bought like 3 or 4 bags that day. And I remember thinking, he's not going to let me buy bags when we get married.
Absolutely not.
So I need to buy the bags now. So that's it was a protection thing. It's like, oh, so if I don't feel like you're going to protect me here, I'll take care of myself. I'm good. I don't need you. I don't need you there. But I feel like over the years I've grown. We've both grown. And I've learned to trust you and realize that you do have my back. You're a great leader. But marriage reveals that those daddy wounds and that rebellion in us. And so I feel like some men get upset once it's exposed and revealed and say, well, I'm done. My hands are up. No.
I mean, it's frustration.
Of course it's frustration.
You got to ask, you really have to look back and think, okay, if I'm trying to lead someone, let's just say you're trying to lead a party of people, and throughout the leadership, it's constant. Like it's constant,
look at Moses.
Like pushing back.
Yeah.
He gets frustrated. Instead of speaking to the rock where God told him to, he hit it.
Yeah.
And God's like, I didn't tell you to hit the rock, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
Trying to lead someone who, if we can be honest, doesn't want to be led.
The thing is, we do want to be led, though, babe. We just want to feel like we're in a safe place where we can be led and we feel heard and seen.
Safe for us? Because I get that you want to feel safe and you want to be seen. We would like to feel safe and to be heard. And we're not even being heard because nowadays let's quench the voice of the man. We're talking about, we want all this masculinity, but then when a man says something, it's toxic. When a man tries to lead, it's toxic. When a man says, well, this is what we need to do, it's toxic. You trying to control me. And it's just like, at some point, like Moses, I ain't speaking to the rock no more. That's why you got more big mamas who have lived on because Papa, Big Papa, Grandpa, they died silently. They were willing to leave and die and go to a grave, and the only thing they left was an indention in a rocking chair because they're like, this woman ain't listen to me. The kids don't listen to me. Don't nobody listen to me.
Yeah. No, that's fair, babe. It
and
really is.
I feel like we need to continue this conversation.
Yeah,
We can continue this
continue
conversation next week. So, y'all, we love y'all. Introduces We out this
Love y'all.
piece.